Guess what? Your family could be Satan. That girl you know, she could be Satan.
Right.
You understand? Your phone, that phone call you might receive when you're in your car could be Satan. Because what they're going to try to tell you is to do the opposite of what we're trying to tell you. That's what Satan is. He's in opposition against the word. He don't want you to keep the Sabbath. He wants you to go home and play 2K. That's what he wants you to do. Smoke some weed. Lay down with the sister once again. That's what he wants. And once he happen, you're 10 steps backwards now. Now you're making it harder for you to repent. You understand? Hey, so what's your name again, bro? Aaron?
Yeah.
Say it.
Darian.
Darian? Okay, Darian. So what you been hearing? What you been hearing? Like what you learned? Like, cause the officer brought out a lot of topics. So what is? Give me a synopsis on what you learned. Sabbath day is Saturday. All praise. What else? Right. Exactly. Right. What else? Say that again. We the Israelites, right? So what tribe you from? You see yourself? You're from the tribe of Judah. All praises. So now, you know you are an Israelite, right? So that means you know the God you serve.
Bring it out.
So if you look on this sign right over here, which God do you serve? According to the Bible. Or have you ever been taught how Christ looked? You got to study on your own. Guess what? We here for you.
Bring it out.
Get that in Acts chapter 8.
Bring it
Start
out.
at verse 29.
Teach up.
Because you got to understand, you can't study on your own. Because when you study on your own, you get your own damn doctrine.
Right.
Now you think you got to be splashed in water.
Right.
That's not in the Bible.
Right.
Okay? Read what you got.
The book of Acts, chapter 8, verse 29. Then the Spirit said unto Philip, go near and join thyself to this chariot.
So it was a man reading the Bible, right? The Spirit told the disciple, hey, go to this man. Read on.
And Philip ran thither to him and heard him read the prophet Isaiah.
Just say you reading the Bible. Like you said, I got to study on my own. This man was studying on his own before Philip came. Read on.
And said, understandest what thou readest?
You see what he asked him? Hey, Darren, you understand what you're reading? Let's see what he say. Read on.
And he said, how can I?
He said, what?
How can
No,
I?
I'll study on my own.
How can I?
He said, how can I? Read on.
Except some man should guide me.
What is God saying? In order to learn this Bible, you need guidance.
Right.
That's what the Lord is saying. So if you don't know this history that I'm showing you, in the Bible, there is a description. Which one you think it looks like? Mel Gibson or a dark-skinned man over here? Which one do you think he look like?
Right.
You say what? On the left, why? Because we black, that's why? Okay, let's go to it. All praise. So you kind of hip to who Christ is and who he look like, right? Watch this. Read what you got.
1 and 1. The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So this is the revealing of Christ, right? Read on.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So it says his head and his hairs is white like wool. The hair on his head and the hairs on his face was white and woolly. That's the picture you see. That's the description. He had woolly hair. Read on.
As white as snow.
It was as white as snow.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Because he drunk wine. Christ drunk wine in moderation. Read on.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
That's going into what you was bringing out. You said feet like brass. Because why? What is the color of brass? It's a brown, dark brown. Read on.
As if they burn in a furnace.
It's as if they burn in the furnace. So what is this letting you know? Your Messiah, right? Our Messiah is a dark-skinned man.
Yes, right.
So this has been one of the lies that your church have been teaching you. What else they taught you? Matter of fact, you said you go to the Baptist church, didn't you? So in the Baptist church, do they tithe you? They don't get, you don't pass around no plates. Y'all just in there for free. You say what? You You usually don't, but they do tithe. So you believe that's a law in the Bible that we must keep? You don't think so? Why is that? You're right, he is taking advantage. Because tithes was never money. It was crops. And those crops was only for the Levitical priesthood. Because they had no lot of land. You understand? But let's get the history real quick. Just to inform you. Deuteronomy 14 and 22.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 22. Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed.
So the topic is tithe. It says thou shalt what?
Truly tithe the increase of thy seed.
Your seed. Read on.
That the field bring it forth year by year.
Does the field bring forth $100 bills? Does it bring down 20s?
Wow.
It don't bring, that's not what it's talking about. It's talking about crops. Read on.
And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God.
Can you eat money? No, you cannot. Read on.
In the place which he shall choose to place his name there.
You know the place God chose? He chose Jerusalem. And guess what? The black minister is far from his homeland. So he shouldn't be tired of no damn body. Keep reading.
The tithe of thy corn.
Thy what?
Thy corn.
So he's giving you now what the tithes was. What else?
And thy wine.
Wine, corn.
And of thine oil. And the firstlings of thy herds.
See that? Crops, cattle. That was tithes. Read on.
And of thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always. And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord thy God shall choose to set his name there. When the Lord thy God had blessed thee, then thou shalt turn it into money.
Then you turn it into money. Because remember, we had to go to Jerusalem to bring for what? Our percentage. You understand? But we couldn't bring crops and cattle. We all the way deep down in Jerusalem. We had to make it into money. Wow. So when we got there, they can do whatever they wanted. But it's going to say it. Read on.
Thou shalt turn it into money, and bind up the money in thine hand, and shall go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose. And thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever thy soul lusted after. For oxen.
For what?
For oxen. Or for sheep. Or for wine. Or for strong drink. Or for whatsoever thy soul desireth.
Right. That's what it was for. Read, jump to verse 27. This lets you know who it was for. It wasn't just for the black man in the Christian church. Wow. It was for the Levitical priesthood. Watch, read.
Verse 27. And the Levite.
And the who?
The Levite that is within thy gates. Thou shalt not forsake him.
That was the point. So when the Lord said with a man robbed God, he was talking about the Levitical priesthood. Right. They wouldn't bring that percentage. They're like, you know what Negroes do? I'm going to keep half mine back. Shit, the other 11 tribes got it. I don't know that was going on. So the Lord's like, hey, a man robbed God, you robbing me. Because these are my ministers. They need your help. But that was the problem. And what Christians do, they twist scriptures to get gain out of the people.
Right.
What we telling you, come out of that. You don't got to go back to that church. You got a place you can come worship.
That's right.
And learn who you really are. And what's your requirements. Now, we didn't get into Numbers 15:38, did we? Let's go to it. So you see on this shirt, right? You see the brother's shirts? You see these? See on this man's garment? What you see at the bottom? Strings or tassels. A lot of people call them tassels. Or what they call them? The ends of the carpet. Y'all heard all types of stuff. But yeah, what this is a law for you. This is law for you. Watch, read.
The book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel.
So you know you the children of Israel, right? You know?
And bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
Bid means to command them to make fringes in the borders, meaning the bottom of their garments. Read on.
Throughout their generations. And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
See that? You put upon the fringe a ribbon of blue. Now you might be sitting here, well, okay, if I do that, what this for? What does it represent? Watch what the Lord say, read.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them.
See that? When you look upon them, you're going to remember the commandments. Like for instance, the officer was giving you the commandments on the Sabbath. So when you look at your friends, oh man, it's the Sabbath day. I can't be buying and selling. I can't be cooking. It's going to remind you to keep God's laws. Keep reading.
And that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whore.
Because that's what we used to do before. The Lord had to institute it. Because Israel was being real deceitful. You say, you know what? I gotta create this. Because my people being real wicked. So I'm gonna create a law that's gonna remind them to keep God's laws. You understand? Now, I heard something else. You've been freaking and geeking, right?
Sneaking and geeking.
You've been freaking, right? You've been having sex. What does the law say regarding sex? Do you know it? Right, thou shalt not commit adultery. True. Get Exodus. I'm gonna show you, bro. Because you hearing this now, your judgment could be far worse when you try to go back. Get a second turn. You know what I'm talking about? It can change for you. Because the angels recording this day. They know you know something that sister you laying down with don't know. Read what you got. Exodus, yes sir. Exodus chapter 22 verse 16. Read.
The book of Exodus chapter 22 verse 16. And if a man entice a maid.
How do you entice a maid? Entice. You give her game. You talk to her. You DM her. However you speak to these women, right? You entice them. Read on.
That is not betrothed.
You know what? She's not promised to another man. Read on.
And lie with her.
You know what? You have sex with her. Read on.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
So you know, more than likely, the women you currently having sex with, you ain't trying to marry her. So you know what that means? Stop having sex.
Right.
Because what happens when you continue to have sex, it's either two things: pregnancy or disease. You choose.
Right.
And in both of them, it's gonna cost.
Right.
Some of them might cost you 21 years. One might cost you lifetime.
That's right.
That gift that keeps giving. You know what I'm talking about? Get that in Deuteronomy 28:61. I'm talking about disease. Because if you commit these sins, knowing what you know, the judgment can be very harsh. Read what you got.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 61.
Yeah.
Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, then will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
Now, when you read in the Bible, I've never seen AIDS. I've never seen herpes.
Right.
I've never seen COVID-19. But God says those diseases I'm going to bring upon you because you're breaking my commandments. I told you lay with her, you stay with her. But you want to run off. Okay. When you run off, I got something running back with you. Now you're in the clinic. You see how the Lord work? We supposed to be fearing him. Matter of fact, get that in Job. I think it's 28 and 28. Yes. Yeah, right there.
The book of Job chapter 28 verse 28. And unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom.
So when you start to keep these commandments, that's wisdom. That's understanding. Read on.
And to depart from evil is understanding.
To depart from evil is understanding. Because you know it's evil to lay with a woman and leave her. Because what you gonna create? You create a baby mama. That means that's another child without a father. That means that's another statistic in the neighborhood. That means that's another man in the population of prison. Because of you. You're the problem. That's why we're here to fix you. So you can help. Because you're not helping, you're destroying. No matter how righteous we are in Sunday church, it means nothing.
Right.
God doesn't care about that. He cares about keeping his commandments.
That's right.
Get that in 1 John 5 and 3. So if you love God, Darren, you're going to repent. You're going to keep these laws. What you doing today? You got to work? You should be coming to the school.
That's right.
You should be making no excuse. I got to go home. I got to do this. You don't know how the Lord works, man. You could be dropped dead the time you leave. You could be put to death.
Right.
And that's the fear of the Lord. You should have to make sure, you know what, let me come to the school.
That's right.
Let me build my spirit up. I know I'm an Israelite. Let me get to the basics of what I need to survive. Read what you got.
The book of 1 John chapter 5 verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
And what today is? And what do we supposed to do on Saturday? He went over there with you. It started with a C. Convocates. Holy gathering. So that means if you love God, you're going to come to the school. You see that? That's if you love God. Read what you got. Read it one more time.
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous.
And guess what? It ain't hard for you to pull off, get in your car, follow us to the school. It ain't hard to do that. Unless Satan enters in and takes away the word. Get that in Mark chapter 4. You know what's going to happen? I'll give you a good one. You'll get in your car right now. That old lady I was telling you about, she gonna hit you up, hey Darian, what you doing? It's mom's not here. She went to work. Now she's tempting you. That's what's gonna happen. Because now the Lord's trying your spirit. Read what you got.
The book of Mark, chapter 4, verse 14. The sower soweth the word.
We are the sowers. We're sowing the word to you, you know?
And these are they by the wayside.
You are by the wayside, you know?
Where the word is sown. But when they have heard.
You hearing, keep the Sabbath, congregate. No buying, no cooking, no selling. Bruh, you laying with us, stop doing it. You gotta get married, right? You hearing these words, you know?
But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately, and taketh away the word that was sown in their heart.
Guess what? Your family could be Satan. That girl you know, she could be Satan.
Right.
You understand? Your phone, that phone call you might receive when you're in your car could be Satan. Because what they're going to try to tell you is to do the opposite of what we're trying to tell you. That's what Satan is. He's in opposition against the word. He don't want you to keep the Sabbath. He wants you to go home and play 2K. That's what he wants you to do. Smoke some weed. Lay down with the sister once again. That's what he wants. And once he happen, you're 10 steps backwards now.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.